Joe.
That's it. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Fitness Fridays with Michael and Tina. I'm Michael.
And I'm Tina.
And we are here at Focus Counter Violence in Cedar Lake today with owner and proprietor Mike Van Beek and coach Joel. And Joel's a veteran as well. We thank you for your service,
absolutely.
my brother. All right, well, Tina, exciting today.
Yes,
I know
very exciting.
I've been on the road for a while, as you guys know, but she's been telling me, we know Mike. How do you know Mike, actually?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Mike and I go way back to our high school days. We went to high school together. We were good friends in high school. Mm-hmm. We, of course, lost touch over the years, and then reconnected at a soccer dome. His wife, Coach Lacey, good morning, Coach Lacey, was my daughter's soccer coach. Mike and I reconnected there, found out we had a mutual love and passion for fitness. He said he was starting a Focus Counter Violence facility, and the rest, as I say, is history. Here we are today to talk about that. Yeah. So very excited.
Thank you for having me on.
So I grew up in the Bronx in New York City, and that was a privilege in many ways because although I have high school and college educations, the best education I ever got was the street education. And I tell people all the time, it's of great value. Why? Because I can walk down the streets and I can tell what the guys coming towards me have on their mind just by the way they walk. Now that's an informal approach, but there's a much more formal approach to it, and this is what a trained professional like Mike is. Mike, I want you to step in a little closer to us.
Sure.
Tell our viewers, this, we'll move the camera in a minute, but we got a couple of heavy bags here, we got a heavy floor. This may look like another martial arts place, but what's Focus Counter Violence really about?
Mike, that's a good question, and that's a question I get often. And we've kind of made a divorce from martial arts, and here's what I mean by that. I think what most people are used to is kind of a one-size-fits-all.
Yep.
Right? It's usually taught by a dry-land swimmer, someone who's never been, and that's okay, and that really is okay. But we kind of separated ourselves from like the belt thing, right? And the breaking of the fake boards and all the uniforms and the punching of the air. That's something we took our kids to. And
that's real stuff.
But this is real life.
This is real life. So
this is real life.
We divorced from martial arts and put in counter violence, not because martial arts was bad, but a lot of people spend too much time on the art part and not about, hey, I'm here, I'm not trying to get a black belt, I don't want to be in a cage, I don't want to be some UFC champion or Mike Tyson, I just want to save the life of my family. Can I go to the movies?
Yes. I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a worker, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor,
I'm a college student.
I want to feel secure and safe.
Yes.
That's what you're about.
And I want people to be able to do that without investing 6-7 years of their life into a sport kind of thing. And so we try to get to the nut and bolts of it really quickly with understanding what violence does. Because most martial arts are set with that martial art doing the same thing the other guy is doing. Yeah. So what Joe and I do is we provide the role of violence. So if you're unfamiliar with what violence will look like, let's say on your job, perhaps as a stay-at-home mom, because violence looks differently to different people. Sure. And as a former criminal, and that's one thing I try to put out there, Mike, like you said, you're from the streets, I'm from the streets. That's where you learn this stuff.
That's right.
You don't learn this stuff in school. It's a school of hard knocks kind of thing. And and I try to be honest with it, that I did do jail time. I am a 2-time felon. And because of that time, I was afforded a second chance at life. Right. Sure. And it was put on my, it was put on my heart to do this and show people what my life was a part of for 10, 15 years, and the violence that just constantly enters.
That's honest and raw, kids. That's honest and raw.
Is it embarrassing a little bit? Yes, but I brought so much information back to give to people. So when I'm teaching and training them, they kind of have a feel like, oh my gosh, this isn't what I was expecting.
So Mike, what I'm hearing is, for instance, in the security business, ADT, Simply Solely, the best consultants for security are guys that used to break into houses, am I right? So that's what Mike is saying right now.
You hate to say it like that, but yes, because you want somebody who's been there before. And I'll give you an example. If you've never lifted weights, why would I ask you for your opinion, right? So I want someone who has been a part of that world to give me insider information.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do it on a level for, like, in-house. We have kids. We have a basic kids program.
Yeah.
We have a kickboxing program that's a legit kickboxing program.
Right.
So you
So
are
people
getting
can actually
shape.
get a workout
Yeah,
too
you
here,
get
right.
to work, because let's be honest, your quality of life that you live is partly, in part, going to be by this machine
Yes,
that God gave you.
yes, thank you.
Right? This machine that you're driving around that God gave you is going to determine the quality of your life. If you're driving, you're bumping, your journey's going to be terrible. But if you're cruising, you're nice, you're taking care of your vehicle.
Right.
And so we want to keep that vehicle safe.
Right.
And not just that, but let's be honest. If you don't make it home, the life of everybody else in your life is going to change.
Right.
All they want to hear is you coming through that door.
And Mike, we see the word violence, and I want everybody to understand it. This is not a proactive, violent program. And correct me if I'm wrong, what I'm getting is this is that, unfortunately, we live in a violent world. And you've got to know, it starts with awareness, doesn't it?
Yes.
Mike? And Joel, it starts with awareness that even walking down the street, shopping in a store, standing in line, I loved your example earlier, in a parking lot, in a movie theater, there are nefarious individuals around all the time.
And Coach Joel, excuse me, but Coach Joel, you actually had your own personal experience.
Yeah.
right?
Tell us
so
about
tell
that.
us about Coach Joel had a personal experience.
Yeah, totally. So, unfortunately, I had a moment where an individual decided he wanted to pull a gun on me. We had trained a lot of knife and weapon disarmament, or really just trying to make sure you stop that and then act violently back to them.
Sure.
Because in a violent situation, you have to match violence with violence. It's not gonna be, they're not gonna bring the same type of violence at you that you expect. So you have to go back with a lot of violence back at them. Yeah.
So I think what Joe is saying is that, not to cut you off, but I think what Joe is saying is that you don't have to be a violent person to have a violent skill set.
That's right.
You don't have to be a mechanic and change the
We're taking
tire.
questions.
But you just have to have that ability. You have to have that skill.
That's right.
And so what we like to do is, I want you to understand that in the world of martial arts, self-protection, self-defense, there is literally a library full of techniques, and I'm sure everybody has a brother-in-law or somebody who showed you one of those cool wrist locks or somebody who did one of those things, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is that violence means something to different people. So someone who comes into my gym for self-protection, they don't want the whole library, you see. They want the book written for their life.
And Mike, you and Joel said something interesting to me before. Told me a story about a man that offered you a great amount of money to teach you how to fight. But then he came back to you and said he offered you double the amount of money to never have to get into a fight. What's that about?
Yeah, so I think that really, really is important, because when people think about self-protection, here's what they think about. They think about the physical part.
Yeah,
and that is important. But let me tell you, the fight starts way before the punch is thrown.
Yes.
That's right.
And we're going to demo some stuff, right?
Yes.
Mike? We're
Well,
gonna demo.
what I'd like to do real quick is I'd like to give your viewers a game plan. I want to give you guys something that you can use today as soon as you turn this video
And
on.
ask us questions, y'all. If anybody's got questions,
Should
Mike
we go
wants
over
to
to the
answer.
board?
Yeah, so we're going to go to the board.
Come
Flip
on,
this
stay
over.
with us.
Stay with us. I'm a professional camera woman here, y'all.
And get a little closer.
Hang on,
baby.
and we're
Come
gonna
on.
come closer. Oh, Karen Lubas, Mike. Karen Lubas is saying hello.
Hey, Karen.
She's so proud of
Can you
us.
see
Okay.
that, sweetheart?
Yep.
Just a little bit?
Everybody can see this whiteboard. Yes.
So
Good morning, Dr. Vaught.
A little closer. Yeah, we go.
Right there.
That's perfect.
Okay, here we go.
Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to make this really easy for you. So if you have a pen or a pencil, write this down. Or if not, you can go back and take a look at this. This is a game plan that I asked Tina and Mike if I could give you guys a little game plan to make sure that you had something in your head, not just your fist, that could make you not even be a part of violence. So this is part of our active awareness seminar program. Now, while I'm doing this, if you guys want to ask about some specific physical questions that you say, you know what if someone grabbed me from behind? Mike, what if somebody choking me? And how would I get out of that? If you do that, Tina will kind of keep that on the side there, and then we'll go over that and show you some answers.
Yes,
We'll give you some
absolutely.
solutions. But before we show you the physical part, let's show you this game plan that I have for you and your family. Now, I know a lot of you out there have kids, and life is a lot different. It's not like if me and Mike were to go fight, or me and Joe were in a fight at some bar at 2 in the morning, but we're grown. It's not happening anymore. We're responsible people. We're getting up for work, and this is about home invasion. This is about carjacking. This is about my daughter's going to college.
Right.
So my daughter's going to college, which brings me real quick before we get into this.
We gotta
April 8th. Yes, Samara's going to college.
We
April
gotta give
8th.
a shout out to Samara, who just.
Yeah, magna cum laude. She just got her thing. So college life is amazingly awesome, but you're only one pill, one drink, one meeting away from that.
One bad date.
Yes, one bad date. You're
Right.
one event from everything changing in your life.
Right.
So what we want to do is April 8th, we are starting a 10-hour, once a week for 10 weeks, college-bound training course specifically for college.
Awesome.
For what kids are going through in college. I mean, from the backpack to the dorm to the event parties, we're going to cover it from head to toe.
And you can already be in college. If you're already in college.
Extremely important.
Yes.
Campus, as you know, it's in the news all the time. Campus environments are getting more violent just politically. So it's just smart to know how to come. You know what amazed me though, in speaking, and I know that you're not a martial arts facility, but what I always loved about the arts, I was a real thug when I was in the Bronx, and I wanted to do this all the time, and I let people know what's coming. But everybody that studied the arts always seemed so calm. And
then they just lash out
but they only deferred your violence.
Right.
They were in control, and that's important because, as Mike said before, you really don't want to come to blows. The adrenaline sometimes is so overwhelming, right, Mike, that it overtakes you. So it's so smart to be prepared, but to have inner calm and be able to assess a situation and get out of there before anything goes wrong. Right, Mike?
We call that the victim orientation process, and we'll get to that in just a second. Let's start off with this game plan. So let's just say, and I'll use this example with Mike and Tina. They have a beautiful little daughter, and let's say they're going to the Sox game.
Yeah.
They want to go to the Sox game, so we're going to give them a game plan. Now, you can infiltrate this into your daily life, or you can use it as an event. Let's say I was going to the mall. Let's use that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the South Lake Mall.
Okay.
South Lake Mall, me and the family are going. I'm going to color code. Now we have white, yellow, orange, and red. Now I'm not going to get too far deep into it, but obviously you can tell that one is safe, one is not so safe.
Sure.
So as you go through those colors, you should say, I should be more aware, lift my head up more. So if I'm in white, I'm probably at home, at the neighbors, at church, at a place that I feel ultimately secure. Okay? Yellow, I might be paying attention. Orange, I should be paying attention. And red, I'm dealing with something.
Right.
Okay, so that shows us. So if I'm going to, let's say, South Lake Mall, I have to honestly color code South Lake Mall as a person calling the team. Right? So if I'm the parent and I'm calling the team, I'm calling the game plan, I say, listen, you might like South Lake Mall, but I think it's orange. I think it's orange. So here, I don't want you wearing a half shirt. So I've color-coded my environment. So my daughter wants to go to the mall, or I'm going, and I'm going to let my daughter and her friend, teenager, go walk around the mall. This is natural. This is what we should do. But I wouldn't send her out without the proper education to make sure she comes back. And that is saying, hey, you have your purse here. Why don't you take your money out, put it in your pocket, leave the purse in the car so we can't strangle you, take the scarf off, put some gym shoes on, take off the high heels.
Wow.
It's a lot. But it's smart.
It's
it's
smart.
prevention. Prevention. You know
Yeah.
how we feel about prevention.
Yes. So here is also going to be determined, and I always say this, how you enter a situation largely depends on how you leave it. So did you leave it? Did you enter it aware? Did you enter it ready to move? Was your attire that you could defend yourself and not fall over yourself? If you have to take your shoes off and change clothes to defend yourself, you didn't do your game plan. This is no pregame. Finally, on the game plan, we're going to talk about contact management. Contact management is really important because it determines whether Joe gets this close or I handle Joe's business from here. And how I do that.
That's
right. So if Joe has something, and we will walk through that.
I want to stop right there. My cousin Ron DeLallo, did you see that? Did you see personal space? That's when, because my cousin Ronnie likes to come up on you. Right? That is a natural instinct, Ron. I want you to know that. It's just personal space. I can hear you from here, and I used to tell him, I says, I was a boxer, and when you're that close, somebody's hitting you.
But again, that person for you as a cousin is in white, you know him.
It is white.
So he has white pass. He has that white pass.
But he's such a passionate Christian man that sometimes I see yellow. Or orange.
So when we're talking about contact management, let me briefly talk about what we call environmental tolerance.
Okay.
So we always talk about like, hey man, get away from me, because it's clearly that he's in my space. But what if I was walking down the street? Now stop. What street would you be walking down alone in a very crowded area?
Oh,
Maybe Dyer.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, right? So what I'm saying is there's a lot of examples and situations that certain self-defense experts like to put you in that you'd never be put in. So what you should do is you should see, what kind of victim am I? What kind of victim are you? In other words, what does your life look like? If you have one kid on the leg, one kid on the arm, and one kid trailing with money in your hand walking out of the store, you don't have a very good game plan together.
No.
And I know, listen, I'm saying that because my kids are older and I don't have them in a diaper bag to carry. But if you do, you need that much more vigilance. That determines your gear too. Now, again, back to contact management. If you are in a store and someone walks up to you, you don't have to hit them. You're in a store.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so that's what I mean by environmental tolerance. Because whenever he's practicing self-defense, no one gets in 10 feet from me, right? When you're practicing it, everybody's get away, stranger danger. But the reality is, people are on you so fast because they're using the environment against you.
Yes,
Their goal is to disorientate you.
Yeah.
And they do that by coming in quick or overwhelming you. They do so by two ways. Power or persuasion. So if I can't persuade you, so here's the thing about women, ladies, if I tell Mike, hey Mike, let's go for a ride, Mike says no, that's the end of the conversation. If I say, Tina, let's go for a ride, and you say,
no.
but you don't understand, you see, I have this in the car, and when Tina says no, it's the beginning of a negotiation. Right. When Mike says no, it's the end of it.
Right.
She says no, it's the beginning. So women know how to say no without being the B word, right? Because no one wants to be that person, but they're trying to find that line. And so you can say something like, oh, well, where do you work? I work at the bank. Which one? The one with money. Have a nice day. And you can still be nice and still set boundaries. When persuasive predators are trying to get to you, they're going to try to find bits of information about your life so they can catch you in light.
Right. Now, we talked about cell phones, right? We're all on our phones.
Yes.
Like, you want us to be very aware of when we're going into certain situations that we are not on our phones. We're not looking down.
Yes. Can I? You guys mind if I give you kind of something? One of our favorites. It's called a weapons app. You mind if I show you what that is?
No, of course.
Okay, cool.
We
So we have color code, we have gear, and we have contact management. If you work those three in your game plan, you should be good.
What do we think? What are things to remember safety-wise for bikers or runners who go on trails? We're going to come to that question.
Let me get to the jogger safety in 1 minute.
Okay, cool.
So let's talk about the weapons app. The weapons app is a focused counterviolence initiative that we use to get tactical to meet practical.
Okay.
Because what you hear is a lot of safety tips. As I said to Mike, if you hear people look in the back of your car before you get in, look underneath your car, and if you actually took part in those things and you walked outside of a Target, let's say, and you've seen everybody looking under their cars and in their back seat, you would think you were in a Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
This is weird. This is unpractical. It's not what people do.
Yeah.
Another thing they tell you to do is don't be on your phone.
Yeah.
I think this is an unpractical expectation because this is the remote control of your life.
Yeah.
For most.
Unfortunately.
I think it's like a lot of things.
Yeah.
A fire can be used to heat your house or burn it down.
Right.
It's how well you use it, right? So here, I want you to recognize that this device has 4 hard corners, a very distinct metal and hard plastic shell with a hard glass case on the front. So you guys mind just... So what I'm going to do is I have done my color code. I'm at the mall, and I've done my thing, and I have my right gear on, and I'm managing my contact. And then Joe walks up, and excuse me, can I help you? Yeah, and he wants to be, so now the phone that I was on can now become the weapon. I can hit here, I can hit here, I can smash it in his face. So this hard tool became a force multiplier in my survival. So again, I can hit here, I can hit here, I can hit here, and I can just go at the guy. Okay, Mom, I'm back. What can I help you with? Okay?
Okay.
That's awesome.
So thank you, Joe. So that's what we call our weapons app.
Something else we can use the cell phone for. Who knew?
It's a weapons app, and obviously it's a play on words.
And that's a free app. You don't have to pay anybody for.
No download necessary.
No download.
All right, I think with a little bit of time, well, let's talk about runners and bikers and then show some demos.
Yeah,
Okay,
show some demos.
real quick, before you go, I'd like to give you 2 pieces of two landmarks, and then one is Facebook Counterviolence, Focus Counterviolence on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Go there. Also,
And what's your Facebook? Facebook page, Counterviolence.
it's Focus Counterviolence.
And do you have a web page?
I've
Yes.
got the web page up. Everybody,
Okay,
I've got
good.
everything up.
FocusCounterviolence.com, or you can go look up my name on YouTube. It's Focus Counterviolence, same thing. You will see a video towards joggers' safety.
Awesome.
Here's what I'm going to tell
We're
you.
going to put all the information up on the screen too, y'all.
Here's what I'm going to tell you about running. Do the same thing you did here on your run. Now your gear you already know.
Right.
Sure.
But color code your run. Now here's how you color code your run. I'm running, I look to my left, or I'm driving my run, because
Yeah.
everybody drives a run to see how long it is, yes?
Yes.
So how many miles? So you're driving your run, you're traveling this path. Let's say I'm going around Cedar Lake. To the right, water. To the left, woods or apartment buildings. Not where I want to be.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Not
Yeah.
where I want to be.
And for a guy that comes from New York City, a very infamous spot was Central Park.
Yes.
A lot of runners, and Central Park is massive. And if you went into the wrong area, somebody didn't do their
Homework, the
Right.
pregame.
Yeah,
So if you've done your pregame, I drove my jogger's route. Now here's what people know, not just the route, but my neighbor knows what time I run. Because you guys know, if you guys are disciplined and you're in the fitness industry, you know that achievement is done through consistency, which is done through proper scheduling and organization.
Correct.
Right.
So you were at the gym at the same time every day for the same class,
Yeah,
yes?
yeah.
So your neighbors should know when you run. They should know when you walk. This should be your habit. They should know, well, I haven't seen her, but she usually goes here and she travels around the lake. They don't have to know your business, but they should know your route.
Yeah.
They should know that, yeah, I see her all the time. She didn't, what happened? I haven't seen you run. And so the way you can secure your safety and better secure it is to make sure the things are on your left and in your right. Now, if you're running and somebody passes you, let's say you're passing me, do this, and you pass me, I can sidestep on my run. Right? So I can sidestep to see who was behind me, yes? I can be running and then turn sidestep and then
Change your
turn again.
direction. Change
Because
your
if I
direction.
try to stop and turn and run, I'm going to fall. And I'm going to look pretty obvious and silly. So
Yeah.
I want to do this and just kind of sidestep, see the runner, turn back, run, right? And
Okay.
And especially important because a lot of you run, I'm not a runner, a lot of you run with headphones in.
on.
You have lost your environment. You can't hear noises. You can't hear somebody coming up to you. So that technique, I think, is awesome.
yes,
Yeah.
one of the things we do is everybody has one ear out, one ear.
One ear,
Right,
yes,
there you
yes.
go.
That's the way. That's the way to do them both. So we have a runners, we have a bikers. Color code your area, color code your route. Make sure you can escape to gain safety, either to the left or to the right.
Awesome.
Because off the path, you have to run that way or that way. So make sure there's not a body of water, not debating apartment buildings. Okay,
Right.
people you
Great
trust.
advice. Now, Mike and Joel are going to show us some of the things that if you come to Focus Counterviolence, and take a class with him or sign up for a program, which Michael and I are going to do, and we're going to do it with Mia. Here's some of the things that we're going to get to learn. And then, like I said, we're going to put all his information up on the screen so y'all can contact him directly to sign yourselves up. And here we go. We're going to turn the cameras, I think. Ask us any questions while this is happening, guys. I'm going to try to answer them as we go.
Okay, so if you have any questions, is there something specific that you would like to see a demonstration on? Let Tina know here, and we will get to it. So
Okay, I have the first one.
Okay.
Okay, so you're a woman coming out of your car at a mall by yourself. It's dusk, and a man approaches you.
By yourself or with a child?
By yourself.
By yourself, okay.
Okay, now, real quick, how he questioned that was perfect. He put all the variables that would otherwise change my reaction. If I had kids, it may change how I react. If he's trying to take my car, I'm going to let him, unless my kid's in the back seat.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it changes. When I say violence means something different to different people, that's exactly why, Mike, because everybody's life is different. So, Mike's example, I'm getting out of the car,
Right.
and Mike, have I made it out of the car and shut the door and someone's coming over?
Yep,
and they
just-
see me.
just when you're right
We're
there.
going to apply what's called a CAP system. This is the first part of Street Safe. The CAP system says first, C, create space. For me to create space, I have to back up. I'm going to put my hand on my chest. I'm not going to put up my dukes. But I am going to put a visual obstruction between me and Joe, so he has to look around to see my face.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm going to back up. And while I back up, I'm going to A, assert my position of innocence and that I don't know this individual.
Okay.
If I'm talking to guys, I usually tell guys, just say you're sorry. You probably did something. Just say you're sorry. Create space. I'm sorry. I didn't know what I did. I'm sorry. But ladies, create space. Creating space gives you movement and motion. Movement and motion allows you to identify secondary threats. Maybe he wasn't the real threat. Maybe the threat is behind me in what we call a pinch.
Yep.
So now if Joe comes up to me and I'm getting out of my car, what can I help you? You see what I did? I just cleared that back line off. If I had just moved backwards, I'm gonna walk into that guy choking me out or that person putting me in the van or something.
Right.
Okay, so the CAP system, create space, assert my innocent, and P, set parameters. This is where we invoke some cultural combatives, and that is, you might want to swear at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Okay.
swear for the video, but I'm going to give you an
Okay.
example. Take this slow, Joe. Go ahead.
Excuse me?
Can I help you? Wait, stay back. Can I help you? Hey, man, I don't know you. I don't know you. Stay back. Hey, get back. Get back.
Yeah.
Right? Well, what you see, as soon as I started to raise my voice, what I'm doing is I'm drawing attention to everybody else.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is showing the video camera. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The video camera of that parking lot says that
right.
I'm innocent. I don't mean any harm.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But my hands are up and ready to strike if I need to.
Great
And
stuff.
my hands are up ready to strike. I'm stepping back. I'm asserting my position, and I let him know. So now when he comes in, stay back, and I have that phone. I can hit him with the phone, and I can get back in the car and escape the game safely.
Awesome.
Okay.
Now, what if you are a college student, or what if you're a woman, or a man, but you're walking and someone comes up behind you, so you don't know it's coming?
Yes. Sometimes
Now
your
we don't
awareness.
see it. We
yes.
don't see it.
And so that's good because not every day is your awareness on point.
Right.
You're not
So
the
I've got my
life-
purse, I've got my phone in my hand. I'm not on it, but
Yes.
I've got my phone in my hand. So one hand is taken with that. I've got my purse. I'm walking, and I'm someone's coming up behind me.
So you have your phone in one hand.
Yep. I'm
And
just
so he's
holding
going to
on to
grab
it.
you. How is he going to grab you, Tina?
He's gonna
Chokehold
grab me
or
from
grab
behind.
from behind?
Chokehold.
Okay, so Joe's going to chokehold me. Now I already have my phone. So I either have to hit with my phone, or drop it to use my hand. So I'm going to hit with my phone, hit with this phone. Then I'm going to hold on to this hand here choking me, and I'm going to curtsy out. And then I'm going to hit him.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
the
Okay.
physical things are something you definitely have to
Right.
stop in.
Right,
And taste them.
and that's my point exactly.
This is
So
all
if-
great stuff.
It is, and if you're a woman or a man who's not used to all these fast, powerful, explosive moves that Mike makes and say, oh my God, I don't want to have to learn that. It's better to be forearmed and forewarned. Forewarned is forearmed, right? So you want to spend some time, especially in this world, in this society.
Yeah.
This has been some great stuff, and we're winding up here. But you want to come down, look up Mike's Facebook page.
Yeah, all his information is going to be on the screen. Call
Right.
him. Come in. Stop
Real
in.
quick, for the College Bound starts April 8th.
That's right.
Anybody who says Mike and Tina sent me get $50 off
Ooh,
for tuition.
yeah, all right.
Thank
That's
you,
all.
Mike.
That's
You're
a
welcome,
phenomenal
Joe.
deal.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you
Coach
so
Joe.
much, Mike and Joel. For
Thank you guys so much. You guys rock. Thank you for everything.
Great
Thanks for tuning
presentation,
in, guys.
and remember, we are here to give you all different aspects of fitness.
Yes.
We want to just enhance your lives, and taking care of yourself and your family should be your first priority always.
Yes.
Until next time, this is Michael and
Stay in
Tina.
good health.
Wishing you the best of health.
Love y'all.